Hi, I am Shobhan. Today I'm going to talk about object-oriented programming concept. These are encapsulation, inheritance, and polymorphism. Let's first talk about encapsulation. Encapsulation is hiding. What it means is that when you design a class, you have some methods and they will execute some codes. But the user of your class don't have to worry about how it's implemented. They just use your method and your class and the properties, etc. They don't have to worry about anything at all. And as a class designer, you don't have to worry about breaking the application that uses your class. You can modify your code all you want, but as long as you keep the same method with uh, the same signature, the application will always work. Now I'm gonna give you some real life examples. Here I have a class encapsulation demo, and I have a method called printSum. What it does is adds two of these numbers and prints it on the screen. So I instantiated this class, and then I can use this method here, and it'll get this output. The sum of 4 and 5 and 4 is 9. And now let's think about a scenario where you want to update printSum method. You may want to do this a little bit differently, like you could do that in sum equal to a plus b, and then hit right here, and you don't have to modify this portion of your code. It will work anyway. Make some bigger changes, like see, 5 plus 4 is 9. This is encapsulation. Now let's talk about inheritance. Inheritance is a technique for creating an updated version of a class. For example, let's say you have a base class and you want to enhance its functionality. You could do that using the inheritance technique. The new class is called a child class, or you could call it a subclass, and the class that it's inherited from is called the parent class. The new class has all the properties of the parent class, like the methods, the variables, etc. The new class is of the type of the parent class. That is, if you have a parent class A and you inherit it and make a child class called B, B and A both are of type A. Let me give you an example of it. I have a computer class here. I got some variables like RAM, graphics, processor, hard drive, and it's a constructor. and it's the print method. It just prints the specification. And here is the desktop computer class. I extended from the computer class. I used inheritance here. I'll just call the computer class this constructor, and I overrided the print method. So it's what it does is it just prints it's a desktop computer before this print. And I also created a class called laptop computer, which is also a child of computer. I did the same thing here, just what I changed here is that it will print this is a laptop. Now I'm going to first instantiate a computer object, computer class. It's a generic computer class. I'll print the method. Let me just comment this out first. See, it basically prints the specification. Now let's see what happens when I run this code. Here, this is the generic computer classes print method, and this is the desktop computer classes print method. It just types that this is desktop computer, and everything else is the same. Just run this version of the code. See, it's a laptop computer, desktop computer. So that's just inheritance. These are the properties that I got from the parent class. See, that's what inheritance is. And the next thing that I want to talk about is that an inherited class is also of the type of the base class or the parent class. You can check this with this portion of code. Basically what I did is, wait a minute. I need this object for it to work. Okay. Generic computer is of type computer. Desktop computer is of type computer. Laptop computer is also a type of computer. Let's run this code and see what it shows. See, these are all true. Why? Because this is a computer object. You all know that this is a desktop computer object, which is a child of computer object, computer classes object. This is a laptop computer object, which is also a child of computer class. So all of these are basically a computer class. How can this help? To answer this question, I get this. You can use all of these and create great data structures. For example, you know that you can mix data types in an array. But what if you have a bunch of computer objects and you don't know what they are, and you want to just use a loop to execute the print statement or some functions? That's when you use this inheritance. You use the base class as an array type, and you put all the objects here, and then I can just iterate through these arrays and I can check if it's an instance of a laptop computer or a desktop computer, or it's just a computer, and I can use the print statement to the um, print the data. What I mean is, we could use the methods that belong to these classes, the updated classes. That's why I checked the latest version of the class first, like the child class. I'll just put a print line here so the output will be a little bit clearer. See, it gives you the same output, basically. Forgot a new line here. Anyway, doesn't matter. See, first object was the generic computer, so this part of the code executed because generic computer is not an instance of laptop computer. It's not an instance of a desktop computer either. It's an instance of a computer. So this version of the code executed for this one, the first item of the array, and this version of the code executed for the second element of the array. You can see it here, and the third executed this version of the array. You can see it right here. See all that crypting here. Okay, that's about it. And now let's talk about the last one, polymorphism. Poly just means many. It's like having many forms of the same object. What it does is overriding methods in a subclass or child is called polymorphism. That's what it does. It just overrides method. I mean, you could have the same method with different signature. So if you have a method that says that accepts an integer as an argument, you could also have the method of the same name with a double as an argument, and they would work, and that's polymorphism. Polymorphism is used to create flexible, reusable data structures. Okay. In this inheritance demo, I actually used polymorphism. I overrided the print method to I overrided the base classes print method because the base classes print method just says what the specification is, but it doesn't say what type of computer it is. So I just overrided this method, and I wanted to print what type of object it is, what type of computer it is. So this is an example of polymorphism. Depending on the object that I instantiated from a class, the print method also differs. You can see here all three of these are print methods, but they print different things depending on the class they're instantiated from. So that's all about it. Thank you for watching this video. If you like this video, please like, comment, subscribe, like my Facebook page. And I'm kind of new here, so I'm sorry for any mistakes that I've made during this video. I will improve in the future. Thank you.